And primarily today, we're focusing on chapter 10. That's rebellion. And out of rebellion, you know, many of us, our lives right now today is a collective of the rebellion from those younger days when we were little kids, when we first took on that role. And we're going to talk about why you did it, why it wasn't your fault. You didn't, it was your only way to, for self-preservation, to look out for yourself, since everybody else seemed to just be coming from this world and imposing their demands on you, when you knew that that in and of itself was out of balance. Something was wrong with that, all right? So, and they were really just probably looking out for you, trying to protect you, but they didn't know any better.
That's not how you took it.
No, it's not. And it's really a good thing that you didn't take it that way, so you didn't let yourself just get pulled in to just this world, instead of keeping yourself alive from being the person who came here on that very first day, who intended to live this life out as in a whole, not just from this perspective, and be controlled by what everyone wants you to do and what they think and, you know, what they might say, and, you know, all that stuff just ruins your life, okay? This part of you, the rebellion, the younger kid that told the people that tried to get you to comply, to just live in one world, this world, one, okay? You knew deep inside you, there's something in you that stirred, your soul was stirring, telling you that something was wrong with that narrow perspective, okay? Not to let that govern you, okay? So now in your life, you're 30, you're 50, you're 70. What happens is now you're still rebellion. You're still rebelling against things that really probably is overkill now. You're trying to push this back. When what you really need to do is you need to, in part 2, chapter 1 through 18, this is chapter 10, you need to go back and you need to figure out where you first started to rebel. And we know that you did it, I did it, Ray did it, we all did it in some form or fashion as self-preservation. Don't you people in this world exclude me. They never saw you. They just looked at you like you were right here with them. There was no you before this, okay?
Probably remember the first time your parents normally told you to do something, and you crossed your arms and you stomped your foot and you said, no. Right?
Yeah, that's the only thing you knew how to do. You didn't have the capacity to really challenge them on a level playing field. You were a kid. You know, what else? What could you have done? But every reaction and that self-preservation kept you frozen. It kept you frozen over here, okay? This still can't really live. Well, this is so defensive. And the ego comes out and fights for you, but it's really not helping you. At this point, you need to figure out what that was and how it's in your way. What used to be self-preservation is now working against you. All right. So how do you get your whole self back? How do you get reconnected? Okay, how do you make that connection first to yourself? And once you have this connection to yourself, the connection to your guidance is a byproduct of that. You don't have to go look for it. You don't have to make it happen. You don't have to meditate all day and hope it works. It's just going to work. You're going to get insight. You're going to be open to it. You're going to be aware because you're in one piece. All right? You know how to be present. You know how to listen. It just goes along with it. All right? If you don't feel what I'm talking about, it's because you're way over here, way invested in just one world. Missing this one, okay?
It boils down to this world, this material world, when you're forced to live in one world, even though you know in your soul you can do better, because you came in knowing that it's a very self-centered world. They don't care about you.
Well, why is that?
Well, because they want you to conform to them.
Okay, this is the reason it's self-centered. When you see somebody self-centered, and to different degrees, okay, under different conditions. That's an absolute, there's no question that that person is living in just one world. To do that, to act that way, to exclude everyone else because of your own survival, your own existence, if that's a person who's just in this world, that person is a problem. That person could be dangerous. That person is somebody who couldn't possibly have anything to offer you because they're too desperate. They're too needy. They're too much, about themselves because they really this is all there is, this one world. I got to tell you something. If that was me, if I was in their shoes, I would feel the same way. I'd be somebody you'd need to watch out for because that's a scary place when you feel that alone, isolated, that it's terrifying to imagine that that's all there is. And really, if you look at the world, why do people get so scared? Because they feel like that's all there is. The people that do this in this world, that impose that on you, they don't even know there's another world. They don't mean to do it. They forgot who they are, okay? They never considered that there's this thing called a connection where you could actually be fully operating, fully capable and present and able to respond and hear the guidance. They can't even imagine that, okay?
Yeah, that's because that's what's so offensive to the little child. The child comes in from the other side, from their spirit family, with all this hope and all this power and all this potential, and they still have a connection to where they came from until people start fearing them out of it.
Because really what's going on with the people in this world? They're fearful for you. See, really, they're trying to protect you. It's their responsibility to protect you. Now, they feel the weight of that responsibility in this world, and they completely overreact because they're not connected. So, it's called evolution, you guys, beginning to connect with this and understand this. So more people, it's like, I feel like it's the 100th monkey. At some point, there's going to be enough people who get this, and then everybody else, it's like, everybody else just benefits from it. They instantly remember. They instantly know there's more going on. Instantly, okay?
The type of parents that realize there's something else going on is when their child is a prodigy in something. The child's 4 years old.
That is true.
Sits down on the piano bench and plays Chopin flawlessly.
Well, I remember, I'm going to say something. I remember something in Guided when I talked about the one time that my mom recognized that something more was going on with me when I was really, really small. And I looked up at my mom. It was the one time where she just looked at me and she had this look of respect on her face. Like, whoa. She realized there was something totally different about me.
Something going on.
That she respected from a soul level. Now, as a person just in this world and her how damaged my mom was mentally, that part of her, she moved it out of the way for that one moment. It was amazing. I was really, really small. I'm probably going to say I was 3 or 4. And I looked at her and I saw something different. And I thought to myself, I remember saying this in Gutted, maybe she's going to let up on me now. Maybe whatever she saw, maybe she's going to stop abusing me now. And then she went right back into her old ways, but she did see it. She did recognize something. It was this part of my mom that was present just for a moment that noticed it. And you'll notice people in your life that you'll see them have that moment. You'll go, wow, it's almost like that person woke up for like 15 seconds. And you saw it. You saw it happen. I know we've all seen this, okay? I talk about that one incident with my mom, and you know, we all see this in people at some point in time where they recognize you, where they see who you really are, not who they're trying to get you to comply as a person in just this world, and just, you know, go along with the status quo and don't cause a ruffle, and, you know, just, you know, take orders and pay attention and keep your mouth shut, you know, pretty much. And the real you part of you looks at that and is offended by it. It disrespects you.